Thank you. We'd like to welcome everyone to the December 1st Mesa City Council meeting. I'll note that all of our council is present. At this meeting, we will be taking public comments both over the telephone and the internet. You can find multiple ways to participate on the first page of the agenda of this meeting. Additionally, if you want to speak, you should submit a blue card 1 hour before the meeting. Again, you can find all of that information on the first page of the agenda for this meeting and also at mesaaz.gov/blue card. We will begin our meeting with a moment of silence. I apologize. We had a representative from the Islamic Education Foundation to offer an invocation. They had to leave because this meeting is starting later than was originally planned. So our apologies to the Islamic Education Foundation. Alternatively, we'll begin this meeting with a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. So please stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The first item on our agenda for this meeting is item 1. That's to take action on the consent agenda. We invite Mr. Kevin Christopher to read the consent agenda.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. These are the items on the consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk will be considered as a group of the City Council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion unless a council member or a citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. Item 2, approval of minutes of previous meetings as written. Items 3A through 3C, act on liquor license applications for Fast Market at 7542 East Southern Avenue, 7060 East Baseline Road, and 9151 East Guadalupe Road. Item 3D, act on liquor license application for Speedway, 7226 South Ellsworth Road. Item 3E, act on liquor license application for Grab and Go, 1605 West Broadway Road. Item 3F, act on liquor license application for Old School Grub, 6555 East Southern Avenue. Item 4A, act on 8-month renewal of the term contract for PC cycle replacement and dollar limit increase for supplemental computers, ruggedized laptops, and tablets for various city departments as requested by the Department of Innovation and Technology. Item 4B, act on contract to purchase storage infrastructure for the Department of Innovation and Technology. Item 4C, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for fingerprinting services for various city departments. Item 4D, act on 1-year renewal with a 1-year renewal option for the term contract for air filters for citywide facilities for the Materials and Supply Warehouse as requested by the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. Item 4E, act on 1-year renewal with a 1-year renewal option for the term contract for elevator vertical transportation unit maintenance for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. Item 4F, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for waste pumping and hydrojetting services for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. Item 4G, act on 7-month term contract with 4 years of renewal options for automatic transmission repairs and services for the Fleet Services and Mesa Fire and Medical Departments. Item 4H, act on contract to purchase crime scene reporting hardware and software. This purchase is grant funded by the Arizona Criminal Justice Commission. Item 4I, act on contract to purchase a dispatch audio recording system for the Mesa Police Department. Item 5A, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to accept a grant from the U.S. Department of Justice for the Police Department's Crisis Response Team. Item 5B, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Office of Justice Programs to accept grant funds for personnel services and software for the Police Department's Forensic Services Division for DNA capacity enhancement and backlog reduction. Item 6A, introduction of ordinance regarding ZON 20-00398 for property located west of Val Vista Drive on the north side of University Drive. A rezone and site plan review to allow for development of a multiple residence on the site. Item 6B has been removed from the consent agenda. Item 7A, act on ordinance amending chapters 67, 76, and 87 of Title 11 zoning ordinance of the Mesa City Code relating to site plan reviews, approved plans, and amendments to zoning maps. Item 7B, act on ordinance amending chapters 2, 5, 6, 8, 31, and 86 of Title 11 zoning ordinance of the Mesa City Code relating to assisted living and nursing and convalescent homes. Item 7C, act on ordinance amending chapters 2, 5, 6, 7, 31, 33, 50, and 86 of Title 11 zoning ordinance of the Mesa City Code. And item 7D, act on ordinance repealing in its entirety the existing chapter 69 site plan review of Title 11 zoning ordinance of the Mesa City Code and adopting by reference the public record known as 2020 chapter 69 site plan review Title 11 zoning ordinance and identified for codification as chapter 69 Title 11 zoning ordinance of the Mesa City Code. Mayor and council members, these are the items on the consent agenda.
Mayor, I think we need to go back. I think we might have skipped over page 7. Kevin, could you, I think we missed items 4J, 4K, and 4L to be read in.
All right, let me go back here. Apologize for that. All right, item 4J, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for slurry seal sand for the Transportation Department. Item 4K, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for traffic signal loop detection installation services for the Transportation Department. And item 4L, act on 1-year renewal with a 1-year renewal option of the term contract for residential refuse and recycling containers for the Environmental Management and Sustainability Department.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Christopher. Ms. Mickelson, have there been any requests to speak on an item that was read as part of the consent agenda?
No request, Mayor.
Council, is there a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda? Thank you. Motion by Mr. Luna, seconded by Mr. Thompson. We will do a roll call vote. Vice Mayor Freeman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Whitaker.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Heredia.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Duff.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Luna.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Thompson. Kevin, we didn't quite hear you. Okay, I saw your lips move saying aye, but I still didn't hear you. That's an aye, right? Okay, Councilmember Thompson votes aye. I vote aye as well. That motion passes unanimously. The next item on our agenda is agenda item 6B. Let me find that on, okay, this is the subject of our discussion in our study session a moment ago. This is introducing an ordinance and setting December the 8th, which is a week from tonight, as the date of the public hearing on this ordinance. Agenda item 6B is amending Title 6 of the Mesa City Code by adding new Chapter 25 entitled Marijuana Prohibitions, prohibiting certain activities and facilities related to marijuana, including recreational marijuana retail establishments, except for retail sales by a state dual licensee at a shared location, marijuana testing facilities, delivery of marijuana unless delivered by a nonprofit medical marijuana dispensary in accordance with state regulations, and the consumption of marijuana on city property, certain prohibited property, and in vehicles/transportation. Ms. Mickelson, do we have any requests to speak on this item?
Yes, Mayor, we have 2 requests to speak.
So you have blue cards with the statements from those individuals, correct?
Correct. They're not on the line. They wish to have their comments read.
Okay, thank you. Please proceed.
The first speaker is Casey Howling. In support of this item, states, as a Mesa resident, I am concerned that the new marijuana law at the state level will have a negative impact on our city unless tightly regulated. In the same way that tobacco and liquor are managed, we need to regulate and manage the sale and distribution of marijuana in Mesa. Historically, the tobacco industry has taken every opportunity to sell their product regardless of the health and safety. The marijuana industry is now following the same path by marketing to minors and disregarding and burying negative press and information that would be detrimental to their interests. I do not debate the new law as the voters of Arizona have spoken, but I do urge the board to implement the proposed regulations in the interest of the residents of Mesa who deserve safe communities without the incessant and unabated influence of an uncontrolled marijuana industry. The second comment card is from Dwayne Stewart. In support of the item, states, I support legalization of marijuana. I use marijuana for pain because other more appropriate pain medications are not compatible to the other daily medications I must take. MMJ needs to be easily obtained and have no more regulations than alcohol sales. No expensive card licensing required for the user. No special doctor required to obtain MMJ. Mandating dispensaries to have special state licenses as well will make it more difficult and expensive to obtain because state licensing conditions may not be in our best interests. The more sales regulations, the more people will be growing. Those are all the comment cards.
Okay, thank you, council. Is there any discussion on this item before we entertain a motion? Okay, hearing none. Is there a motion for approval of, and again, this is setting a week from today as a hearing date on this agenda item. Motion is made by Mr. Luna, seconded by Mr. Freeman. We'll conduct a roll call vote. Vice Mayor Freeman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Whitaker.
Nay.
Thank you. Councilmember Heredia.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Duff.
I should have commented, and I'll just make a quick comment, that I support opening the discussion, the public discussion on this. I feel it's overregulation of facilities, but I do support the public safety measures. So I'm split on this currently, but I am supporting opening the public discussion over the next week. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Duff. Councilmember Luna.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. I vote aye as well. So the motion passes 6 yay and 1 nay. So there will be a hearing on this next week. Next item on our agenda is item 8A. That is to conduct a public hearing on ordinances adopting, modifying city-owned utility terms, rates, fees, and charges for electric, gas, water, wastewater, and solid waste services. I declare the public hearing open. Ms. Mickelson, has anyone requested to speak on this item from the public?
No requests, Mayor.
Thank you. Do any council members wish to address these items?
I got a comment, John.
Thank you. Mr. Whitaker.
Yeah, I just want to say I think that it's appalling that we're sitting here raising utility rates in the middle of the current epidemic that we're in, still building the ASU campus. And, we have food bank lines that are stretching miles long, unemployment rates that are through the roof, and we're sitting here raising utility rates. It goes back to all my previous concerns, obviously, but I'll be voting against this measure tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Whitaker. Council, other comments? I'll just, for the record, note that this, I had a concern about going forward because our council is currently in the midst of a large utility assistance program. We do have members of our community that are delinquent on their utilities, so I questioned whether we ought to be making rate adjustments at this time. However, I would like to point out that we have dedicated many hundreds of thousands of dollars, actually millions of dollars, to providing utility assistance for those in need. And we'll use this as another opportunity to advertise if you or anyone you know is experiencing problems paying their utility bills. We have COVID assistance money available that can step in and avoid utility shutoffs and help with utility bills. So please take advantage of those programs. The alternative to not going, the rates that are proposed tonight is a 1.5% rate increase on water. That is cheaper than keeping up with the costs of providing that utility. The raise in the commodity rates for the electricity and the natural gas and the water that we sell is more than the rates that we are proposing, the increases. The reason that I was persuaded to go forward with this is if we don't adopt even these modest rate increases, that sets the stage for a more dramatic rate increase a year or 2 or 3 down the road, which I think would be harder on our low-income community than doing it in a very gradual way. And again, this is less than the increases that we're experiencing. So essentially, the city is subsidizing these utility rates and will continue to do so over the next few years if we adopt this 1.5% rate increase. So for those reasons, I think it is the prudent thing to do. And just a reminder for Mesa utility customers. If you are a Mesa electric utility customer, your rates are less than Salt River Projects. If you're a Mesa natural gas customer, your rates are less than Southwest Gas. Our water rates are a little above average, and I'll stress slightly above average. And the rates that we're proposing again today raises the average water customer, I think, monthly bill by about 20 cents. So again, it's a very modest increase, and I think it's prudent so that we can avoid larger rate increases down the line. All right, Council, any additional comments on that agenda item?
Yeah, I got another comment, John. I just want to point out that currently we have the most expensive water rates in the valley. We have the most expensive wastewater rates in the valley. We have the most expensive sewer rates in the valley. And further, we keep going back on the discussion as if it's whether we're going to do a slight increase today or a huge increase tomorrow at a later date, right? But those aren't the only variables involved. We could rein in our spending, and that wouldn't require us to raise rates. So I want to make sure that we're clear that there's other factors that influence utility rates than just, are we going to do this today or do it tomorrow?
Okay, thank you. Council, if there's no other discussion, is there a motion and a second to approve going forward? Thank you. Motion by Mr. Luna, seconded by Mr. Freeman. We'll do a roll call vote. And again, this is, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Let me back up a little bit. But I declare the public hearing closed. Thank you for keeping me straight, Mr. Smith. So agenda item 8A was just to conduct a public hearing. So unless there's an objection from a council member, I'm going to call agenda items 8B through 8F together and call for one motion to approve all of these items related to the fees and charges for electric, gas, water, wastewater, and solid waste services so that we can handle all these various items like a consent agenda item. Council, and I apologize, I'll call again for the motion in the second. Is there a motion and a second to approve items 8B through 8F? The motion is made by Councilmember Luna, seconded by Councilmember Freeman. We will do it. Did I do that correctly, Mr. Smith?
Yes, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll do a roll call vote. Vice Mayor Freeman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Whitaker.
Nay.
Thank you. Councilmember Heredia.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Duff.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Luna.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. I vote aye as well. The motion passes 6 ayes and 1 nay. The next item on our agenda is item 9. That's items from citizens present. Ms. Mickelson, do we have any requests to speak under this agenda item?
No requests, Mayor.
Thank you. That concludes the items on our agenda for this meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Mr. Luna, seconded by Mr. Thompson. We'll do a voice vote. All in favor of the motion to adjourn, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Any opposed? Thank you. We are adjourned.